Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing this Thursday evening? Hope everyone can hear me okay, see okay, cameras are open and through okay. Let's go up the chats, see who's about. So, hi, Leslie, Anthony, Mike, Limo Chairman 1, Andy, Peter Jackson, Tom Houston, Valerie, how you doing? And Alan, Dragon Junction, how you doing, Alan? Oh, I'm a bit quiet, am I? Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just increase the gain on my mics because I was making a video yesterday, so I have to turn it down for making the video. So let me just. Right, is that better? You may be picking up more background noise. John, how you doing? Good evening. So tonight you can see I got this little box of bits here. This is PWR 460 tank engine. It's PCC fitted. Had it for a while and it just stopped working, so I took it apart and looked at it. The motor would spin, a little puff of smoke, stop. And might spin again 5 minutes later. I have another little puff of smoke, stop. But obviously, something's not right with the brushes or the commutator on it, and these are pretty much sealed units, throwaway items, so I wasn't going to bother taking it apart to check the brushes and everything, so I just went into Peter Spares, ordered a new one, so I thought I'd fit that tonight on screen. Hi Karen, how you doing? Let me just check it didn't change one of the mics on me. Aha. Yes, it changed the mic. All right, how's that? I'm going to turn the gain back down again. Right, how's that now? Right, that should be working better now. Hi Martin, how you doing? Yeah, for whatever reason, StreamYard decided to go from not the default mic I've set up, which is my Rode mics, my wireless mics. Hi Jerry, how you doing? So I'm going to walk down the other end and hopefully you can still hear me. Right, everyone still hear me fine? Hi, Owen. How you doing? Who else has come in? Who have I missed? Oh, the chat's going too fast now. I wouldn't mind, but every time I set up the stream, I check the mics because I know it can happen. And it was set to my Rode. For whatever reason, it changed to the webcam, which is sitting down the end there. Hi, Model Railway Shed Dino. How you doing? Anyway, in case you didn't hear me the first time around, I have this little GWR tank engine. It's an 060. It's DCC fitted. I think it came out of one of my sets. It wasn't working very well. The wheels would turn, then it would stop, and then 5 minutes later it would move again. So I took it apart. The motor on it was letting out a little puff of smoke when it would run. Then it would stop, run again, little puff of smoke. So I think the motor's, as we say in Ireland, banjaxed. So I went and got a new one from Peter Spares after trolling the internet to try and figure out which model motor this is, because there's so many of these motors and they look exactly the same if you don't look carefully. So I think I've got the right one. So we're going to fit it in today and just see how it goes. You're coming from recovering from Wexford. Was it a good weekend? I couldn't get down to it. It's just too far for me to go. All right, and I've just added you as a moderator there, so you can put a link up to your Facebook page so people can see all the stuff you do. Hi, Rachel. How you doing? Anyway, let's see if we can go about breaking this. All right, first thing, I'm going to take the chip off. And I suppose I'll put on my soldering iron so that starts warming up. So let's move this out of the way. So we have the little body that the motor clips into, which I have to try and remember which way around it goes. But never fear, just in case I couldn't remember. I do have two of these. Brenton Junction, how you doing? Langdon Road, how you doing? Oh, Jason, Barnabas Junction. Good evening, Jason. Hope you're keeping well. All right, I'm going to move this camera around a minute just so I can get a better field of view. Whoa. There we go. So this is the unbroken one. But, you know, give me a minute. I'll soon break it. There we go. So now with that, I can see which way it goes around in the motor. So like that. Just make sure I put the the new one back in, not the old one. That's a bit tricky. So I'm going to bend down the tab on the motor so I can get it in. Right, that's fitted in quite nicely. Right, I'm going to take the capacitor off because I don't think there's anything. You don't need the capacitor. The capacitor was fitted to these when they were DC for noise suppression, which you don't get anymore with modern LCD TVs. President XD's looking at the shed. Howdy, how are you doing? Yeah, I must get down there some year. It's just when you're living in Ireland and you live in Donegal, Wexford is probably about as far as you can get. It's right sort of diagonally across the country. And I was looking at a hotel or somewhere down there, but I left it too late to look and the prices were quite... I was trying to talk my missus into maybe having a weekend away. But she's wised up to me now. When I say there's a weekend away, she goes, what trains are involved? Right, so I'm going to tin those. In fact, we have our TVs aren't even connected to an aerial in this house. They're just purely used to watch Netflix, Disney Plus, and YouTube. We've no aerial plugged in to get terrestrial TV. We've no satellite dish for satellite channels. Dirty weekend means gardening. Well, me and the missus, we don't have dirty weekends away anymore. If we go away for the weekend, we spend the weekend sleeping. Right, so that's the... I didn't actually check whether you could see that or not. I was so carried on with it. Right, so that's the wires tinned. Now looking at the other one, so it's the grey on the bottom. And what I need to do is... Right, can you see that? So I'm going to put a little bit of flux on the terminals and then a little dab of solder just to tin them up. Yeah, it is the oddball 4-pin Hornby chip. Howard, how are you doing? No dish, no area. Are you sure you got electricity over there? Yeah, we do. I'll tell you a story. When my parents moved to England in the late 80s, 89, 90, and I was at school in Bristol. And at school with me was
a Canadian fellow who obviously could stay in Europe because his grandmother was Irish, so he had an Irish passport. Never been to the country, but had an Irish passport. And he said, "Oh, I'm going over there to see all my distant relatives." I said, "All right, yeah, enjoy it, have a good time." And he came back, and he was so shocked because he said to me, "You guys have roads over there and electricity." I was like, "Yeah." What did you expect? I think he expected like the quiet man, everyone going around on a donkey and cart, and thatched cottages everywhere. No, I'm just off screen, am I? Oh, sorry about that. Of course, by the time I see the message, I've already done it. So what I've done there is I've just tinned the terminals. Well, so I put a bit of flux on there and just a little bit of solder. I've already tinned the end of the wires. So now I'm just going to solder them on and then put it all back together. I'm not going to say anything about the Americans, Anthony. We have our, the American tourists that would come over here and be like, they'd stop you in the street and ask for somewhere and say, "Oh, so-and-so there, they were my great-great-grandfather and they moved over." And they're like, they quite seriously go, "Did you know them?" And I'm like, "Well, they've been dead for 100 years. How would I know them?" Evening, Carl. How you doing? Right, so let's solder this on, or else I'll spend the evening chatting and get nothing done. Now, this is a bit when you're soldering where you need an extra hand. Hang on, where's my solder? I just want to get a little bit of solder on the tip. Hold it. There we go. That's that bit on. Oh, evening, Brian. How you doing? Dino, I've got a daughter like that as well. Right, that's them on. Right, let's try and put it back together now. Oh, hi, Nigel. How you doing? Don't forget to hit that like button for me, guys. Right, so there's the body. And I have the screw and screwdriver. And I'm just going to take some of the grease that's on there and just put it down the screw. So I'm just taking some of the excess. Oh, there's a bit of metal stuck to it. Just some of the excess grease that's already on this. That's sitting to the sides and just rubbing it down the screw, just so there's a little bit of lubrication. Less is more, as they say. Right, now I'm trying to fit this in. I'm just trying to get the little pickups behind the wheels as I'm doing this. Seems good. Got the screw. Don't drop it. Yeah, they are very fiddly. Once you bend them the wrong way, that's it. They won't go back. Try a different screwdriver. It doesn't quite fit in the head nicely. Again, working with a set of Lidl's finest. Right, that seems to be in. All the pickups there. Oh, that pickup is a bit. There we go. Right, it's in. Let's put the chip on and then switch it on. Yeah. I wonder, does it actually matter which way this is plugged in? I suppose you would line up with the color wires. That would be that would make sense, Mark. Yeah. So black to black. Yeah, that's. Right, let's put it on the rolling road and see what happens. Tonight, Brian, I'm replacing the motor in this little GWR tank engine because it wasn't working properly. When I took the cover off, the motor would spin, give out a little puff of smoke, stop, spin another little while, puff of smoke, stop. So I was just soldering the joints on the new motor. Right. Turn off the soldering iron. And I'm going to go down the other end to where the computer that controls everything is. And is it moving? I'll walk up the other end and see if it is. Yes, it appears to be working. So I'll put the other one back together because I had two of these. So I was just using the other one just as a guide, just to make sure I was doing everything right. Seems to be an okay. And put the Hi Tom, how you doing? Yeah, I just went on to Peter Spares and got a new motor. You know, after trolling the internet to find out exactly which motor is required, because they all are slightly different. And I find it. And it's running now. So I'm going to increase the speed of that for a little while let it run, bed it in, then reverse it, and then put the cover on it, and then we'll run it around the layout, see how it goes. 32. Anybody see any smoke? Right, what time is it now? It is, right, we'll say 10 past 8. If I remember, I'll reverse the direction. What annoying YouTube thing are we on about now? Because I've noticed recently they've started doing that thing where people leave comments on my videos and then delete them. So I get a notification there's a comment. I go to answer it and it's gone. And it just says this comment isn't here anymore. Right, and just thinking which camera would be best to show this on. All right, so my friend Seamus, who's also one of the fellow directors, who you see in here, is 3D laser print, or comes on as Letterkenny Aircraft Club. He done me out a board for my fiddle yard for putting the switch panel. That's the word I'm trying to look for. So he's been messing around with it, and if I lift the camera up, you can see the sort of thing he's done there. So this is actually just a piece of scrap wood of his because he was practicing, and he just done it out on there. So also you got a hole for the switches, and then a small hole then for putting an LED in to show you which road is open. So this is just a prototype he was doing just to mess around and see how it works. Because what he was suggesting he would do is you can get, this is just a little mock-up just for a test. You can get these different bits of plastic. So this one is white on top, black underneath. So as you burn into it, it leaves a black line. And you get all sorts of different colors. There's one there where it's sort of white on brown. So he's messing around with that now just to get some ideas. Well, what I had to do when I was looking for that motor is I trolled Google to try and find the worksheet for it. And eventually I came across a website, modeling website, that had all the sheets for all the different model numbers on Hornby. And then I was able to determine which was the number for the motor. So depending on what manufacturer has done your end gauge, I'm sure if you troll through Google enough, you will find the repair sheet for that particular loco. Oh, you off, Anthony? Cayenne's won the argument. Well, is that motor still going? Yeah, it's still spinning. So tonight, going around, I just have the 2 trains at the moment because obviously I was working on the bench and couldn't keep an eye on them from running into each other. We have the King class pulling various chocolate and cream coaches. So I've got my Bristolian coaches, some GWRs, and then it's the Royal Scots coaches. And then we have Flying Scotsman going around with the rake of LNER coaches. Hi, Alan. How you doing? Well, if you watch tomorrow's video, which is all about points and point fitting and everything, you will see how I do it because I've started wiring in the point motors. That's why you can see that mess of wires in the top left because I'm just wiring them in temporary at the moment until I get the upper level built. Aha, here he is, 3D Lasercraft. I was just showing them your work there, Seamus. Hi, Dave. How you doing? Yeah, I just replaced the motor on that little 060, so I'm just letting it run in now for a few minutes, and then I'll put the cover back on it and send it around the layout. Yeah, Peter, you've noticed there I've started the upper level. That was a little experiment just to see if I was happy with the height. So that level is 10 inches above, which gives me enough room to get in underneath to do wiring and that sort of thing. And also I'm not knocking anything that's stored underneath because the last layout was 7 inches and it was just a little bit tight. And so upped it to 10, and that seems to just give me that little bit of extra room I need. So that's the plastic one there. And then that's actually wood. I was saying to them, Seamus, how it's two colors, and then you burn it off, and then that leaves the under color. So you can get these, and you were saying you can get them all in different colors, like red on black, black on red, white on black, and everything, etc. The motor was one of them. X8202, I think it is, which I got ordered from Peter Spares. Took about a week to come through. I can tell you exactly the model number. Dig the receipt out of the bin. Yeah, Hornby X8202 motor and worm for an 060 tank. Well, it even says it fits the class 58 as well. And it was $872, and it cost me a £5 in postage. But hey, I've got that little engine is going again. So I can take this camera off of here now and put it back looking on. In fact, what I'll do is I'll show you over here. Someone was asking about the switch panel. So where are we? Oop. You can see there my temporary panel. So basically, whenever I get the upper level done and get the proper panel in place, then these switches and everything will be transferred over. So at the moment, they're just going to be temporary wired up. There you can see I'm using the DCC Concepts power supply. So it'll be temporarily wired up. I've only got this one done at the moment, and the other one's down the other end on this side done. So I'm going to do the rest of these. You know, do 1 or 2 a day because it takes time doing them. Let's put this camera back over on the layout so you can watch the trains. Here we go. All right, let me just get back to the track. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, so Seamus at 3D Lasercraft, he's going to be your man now for doing these sort of panels and names and that sort of thing. You know, if you want a totem done or something like that. In fact, yeah, you're a moderator there, Seamus. So if you want to put up a website or Facebook page or anything, you can put it up. Okay, Owen, I'll catch you again. Take care. What gauge wire is it for the power? In relation to what, Leslie, or is you asking someone else in the chat? Because I've sort of lost my way in the chat now. Okay, Mike, take care. He's also, Seamus at 3D Lasercraft, he's working on a secret project for Christmas. So I forgot to ask him the other day how he's getting on with that. Are you on about the switch to the rails? Well, on my points, the wire I use is the same wire as I use for the droppers is the 7.02. So the 7 strands of 0.02 wire. I'll find a camera to put this in front of. That stuff there. I use that for my droppers. I use it for wiring up the points to the switches. My bus is 1.5 domestic twin and earth cable, solid copper core. Hi, John. How you doing? Yeah, John, I've done a good bit here now. So the track is laid in the fiddle yard. That's down. I've got a quarter of the points wired up. So I'll get the rest of the points done now over the next, well, a couple of weeks, because I'm sure I could spend a day and get them all done in a day, but you know, you have to put a point in and then you got to test it. So you got to run trains over it several times just to make sure it's working. So, you know, it's going to take a while. And as you can see in the bottom left camera there, I've started experimenting now with the upper level as to get the height correct and where exactly I want it to be. Stray walked in. Right, let's swap direction on that. Leave that running for another 15 minutes. And then I'll, as long as it doesn't catch fire, I'll put the body back on it and we'll hook it up to a few wagons and send it round. Yeah, if anybody's seen the Drumbo Christmas decorations we were selling at the museum, I think one or two of you might have got them. It was Seamus here who designed them and made them. And he made a lovely little Drumbo plaque as well, lit up for Christmas. And yeah, he does lots of lovely little bits and pieces. So do check out his website. The I know he posts anywhere in Ireland and anywhere in the UK, because living where we are, we can nip across to use the Royal Mail or this side for An Post. Oh, Nigel, have you frozen? Anyone else having problems? So what's everyone else been up to? What have you done modeling wise since I spoke to you last week? March West Junction, good evening. How are you doing? Oh, you ran out of track, Brian. Anywhere in the world? You sent one to Saudi Arabia. Ah, hate to think how much that would have cost. No, the 06 isn't from the museum. That's my own. That's my own one, Seamus. It came out of a digital set I brought a few years ago. 28 euros for a kilo. Yeah. I don't know if you remember a couple of weeks ago, I asked the question about how the Sprinter here and that it wasn't reading the chip. I figured out what it was. One of the wires going onto the motor was just sitting on the terminal. It wasn't soldered on. It was just sitting there. So it would run fine DC, but obviously when you were trying to interrogate the chip for DCC, it didn't have a good enough connection. So it just didn't work. And then I soldered the wire on and it read the chip and it worked fine. It's working fine now. Last time you had to buy track. Spent the week fretting where to find interesting trains out costing an arm a leg. Well, if you figure that out, Leslie, let the rest of us know. Painting the inside of Lima coaches, putting in people Metcalf arch for the castle. I do like that Metcalf castle. I had it on my last layout. I think it really looked the part. Watching a self-appointed idiot doing damage control on his surroundings. Oh, you're watching my videos, were you, Sean? Problem with 3 bank holidays in a month. Ah, yes. Of course, you got an extra bank holiday, haven't you? So now we have the same bank holiday beginning of May, but then where you have the last bank holiday at the end of May, we have one at the beginning of June. So ours is usually a week later than yours. And of course, we won't be celebrating the coronation over here. Even though I'm running my King Charles II steam loco around. Oh, and who's seen the announcement from Hornby today? Them cashing in on the coronation. You know, if it was April the 1st, I would have thought that was an April Fool's joke. The Class 66 that will play God Save the King. Is this May? I thought it's February. Are you on about the 66, Seamus? Are you getting one? Oh, we do have another one of those because somebody left in a GWR mixed traffic train set to the museum. And I've actually got it home here to test the engine out of it. So I'm going to get that out now and actually hook it up and run it and see how it goes. Let's put this over. Because although it's the GWR box, it doesn't have the insert. It has a Finding Nemo puzzle box and another puzzle box with the bits in it. And look, we have another one. So this is DC. This belongs to the museum. You can see now it's got a load of fluff in there, so it's been run on the carpet. But we'll put it on the rolling road. It's got traction tires on it as well. Put it on the rolling road and see if it works. I should have a DC power supply on my desk. I did have. Oh yeah, there it is. Right, let's plug it in. Yeah, it seems to run. I'll give the wheels a clean and then I'll set it on the rolling road. +30 miles with you, Leslie, huh? Well, that's a normal day in Donegal. Oh, that thing Sam's train's done. Oh, that was hilarious. That was somebody really cashing in. Hi, Chris. How you doing? Yes, may the 4th be with you. Well, somebody must buy them, Leslie, or else they wouldn't make them. You know, I think it's time I started to tidy up on my desk because it's starting to get a bit out of control here now. Has to be that it might be worth more in the future. Yeah. My little medicine measuring cup for putting in some IPA. Give these wheels and pickups a clean and put it on the rolling road. There's a bit of dirt coming off. Hey Rob, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Oh, was it Dud? Was it Jerry? Hi Les at Hell Station, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Oh, June was helping. Well, it helps if the controller's on. I wonder if I could. No, I haven't got a. Got a couple of pieces of track on my desk, and I keep meaning to get a piece of wood, pin them down to it, wire some proper droppers onto them, so I can use them as a programming track and a testing track. Well, there's things on my to-do list. Right, I'll leave that running for a little while. Turn it down a wee bit. Okay, Chris. On Monday, I'm going to paint my old Triumph purple and blue tack, a 50p piece on the front, and run around my layout very, very slowly, saluting and singing Rule Britannia. Oh, you're doing a live stream, Brian, on Saturday? What time? Let everybody know. If you've got a link up for it yet, you can post it there if you've got a link. From the coronation. Hi, Martin. How you doing? There's a few extra tracks added. We try our best, Les. We are a friendly bunch. We're a harmless bunch, I think. Tim's Hobbies Desk. How you doing, Tim? Long time no see. Hope you're keeping well. some parts of Northern Ireland. Yeah, okay. Less said about that, the better, Nigel. Okay, Dave, catch you again. Right, I think that those 6 has run long enough. We'll put the cover back on it, the body back on it, and give it a little run around. Okay, Seamus, I didn't just drop your work on the ground. Right, just putting the body back on this, sticking the couplers on, and then I'll put it on the track, and we can watch that go around. Right. One on. Of course, I should have my locomotive cradle out to put this in. Not only protects it, but it actually helps keep it in place while you're trying to put a fiddly little screw in. Right. I shall put it on the layout now and see how it goes. So it's going to be behind the King class. That's not right. It's like it's going over a speed bump every revolution. What's going on there? I don't know what that is. We'll let it run around for a while. Hi Gary, how you doing? Oh, you're gonna be rebuilding your train shed. Are you doing any train stuff? Funny enough, I was thinking of you today for whatever reason, and I was wondering, you haven't put any videos out recently. Or do you have another channel that I'm not aware of? If you have another channel, or Rosie's got another channel, pop a link into the chat there, Tim. The loco is a King class. It's the King Charles II. And the other one is the Flying Scotsman pulling the LNR teak coaches. Oh, that's good. You got a reply from Hornby. Their customer support's that good. Right. For whatever reason now, this loco isn't working very well. I think there's, oh, actually, is that it? Is that too far up in the chassis? Aha! That's what's causing the problem. It wasn't, the body wasn't sitting right on the chassis, so the rods were hitting off the body. That's what was making it. All right, let's try that again. Would I have to run headless? Off to the loft. Hey, Gary. I must admit, I did sneak up here for a while when supposed to be working, and I was flicking through, and Lord Al came on, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to sneak up to the loft, watch a bit of Alan, and run a few trains just to check everything was ready for tonight. So, Martin, is Evie with you this evening? Have you got any shenanigans videos coming up? It's stalled on the point. And that's electroflow point, and it is wired up, that one. Or maybe it's not. Let's see if it stops on the other one. You want to build your double O bank, says I need to go back to work. Yeah, I think we all have that problem, Tim. Except for those people on here who are retired. No, I don't have any lighting in the coaches that are going around. The only lighting I have is in the 3 Irish Rail coaches I painted up. Someday I will get around to putting lighting and people in all my coaches, but Constable, that's good to hear. Anybody who's not subscribed to Shedmouth, get over there. It's Martin and his daughter Evie. They do some great videos. I really did enjoy that Easter one you done. Right, that old little 6.0, the DC one, that's it's donated to the museum, seems to be running well. Giving her wheels a clean there and letting her run in for 15 minutes either direction, so I can take her back to the museum tomorrow. Thanks, Flymo, putting up a link to Shedmouth. And Tim's put up a link to his diorama channel. I'm just going to click on that. Yep, I am subscribed. Retirement is hard work compared to work. Even watching trains becomes hard work. Flymo's put up the website to the museum there. I'm not sure if it's working at the moment because they were doing some maintenance on it and it seemed to go down. So they're trying to figure out what went wrong. Oh, Transformer diorama. Ooh. King Charles is catching up the or did it stall on the point? I didn't notice and it just nudged it off the point because it's getting away from it again. No, I don't think it's any serious. The person who does our website, who's also one of my fellow directors, she was doing some work on it, updating some files, and something's gone awry somewhere, but it'll be sorted. Funny, a lot of people seem to go to Facebook now to find us, and we seem to pop up on Google searches quite a bit. In fact, the museum has been getting a lot of 5-star reviews recently. A lot of people have been coming in to visit, and they've enjoyed it. Yeah, there we go. There's the Facebook page. Thanks, Flybo. Hold on. Right, where did I put my drink? Throat's getting a bit dry. Oh, it's showing it's been 21 degrees up here this evening. It's getting warm. Might have to take the hoodie off. Steady on, Alan. I know you get excited when people change their tops. Sorry, I'm messing my mic if it's annoying people at the minute. You can't find a motor for your Tornado. Did you try Peter Spares? Did they not have one in stock? Oh, that belongs to the museum. We put bits and pieces up on it. I need to do more work on that. Oh, it's out of stock. I presume you've searched eBay to see if there's any. Oh, Howard's back with us. Change devices. Oh, yeah. American cream soda. It's only nice when it's cold. Yeah, Martin, you should check out Tim's, because some of the stuff he done on his model railway, the dioramas and the builds and everything, was fantastic. You know, you look at him do it and you go, yeah, that looks easy. Makes it look easy. That's simple enough. I'll give that a go. Why is mine turned out just to be a brown blob of mess? You just see him there, sprays it on, slaps it on. You go, oh, that looks really good. Why doesn't mine? Oh, yeah, that's not a bad idea, Flymo. Put it in a glass, drop of ice cream in there. Oh, I used to like Coke with ice cream in it. And they called it a brown cow. Going to RMB website, my Tornado doesn't even exist. What was the site I found? Oh, yeah, here, I'll newmodelershop.co.uk. I'll put this into the chat in case nobody's come aware of it, but it had a load of service sheets for all the Hornby locos, which is where I found the 060 and was able to figure out which engine it was or which motor it was. Oh, I see. The 060 is stalling on that point, and then it's getting a nudge from King Charles, and then it's able to get away. So the temporary job I've done that point must have come undone. Artist types, yeah. It's the same with his photography. Some of the photography shots he has are brilliant. But I suppose if you do that as your profession, you should be good at it. Yeah, it is a Hornby 060. It came out of a digital set, I think, because it's actually stamped on the bottom DCC fitted. So it, I'm sure it came out, was it Western Digital, I think, was the set? This is when I first started messing around with DCC. I bought a digital set so I could mess around with it and see what it was like. Yeah, it is a handy site. I bookmarked it as well. So it's the other one I've come across as well. I don't know if you... Oh. Let's open that on a new tab. There's this one. Right, let's turn that off now. I think that's run enough. We're getting hot. Grand. That's another one, Model Rail database, which I find useful. I think that one actually, you put something in and it gives you links to ones on eBay as well, I think. Right, I'm going to go and just check the wiring on that point. Let's see if the frog, as I just temporarily connected the frog so trains can run straight through. And it might be that that's come undone. Crawl around on the baseboard and try not to create a short. I know the frog is connected. Let's see if that works any better. Right, where's me little... Where did I put my track tester? Bookmark that one also, right? Yeah, it probably is good to start traveling again, get back out there. Jason the Train Freak, how you doing? Good evening, sir. Or good afternoon for you, I suppose it is. How are you keeping? Oh, you off, Nigel? Take care. You can find it on both sites, but you can't find it on Hornby. It's about right. Yeah, that was a mammoth live you done last time, Jason. Was it 4, 5 hours, something like that? Must admit, I didn't watch all of it on the replay. Track tester. No, that frog is live. Handy little tool. Everyone should get one of these. I think it was a $5 from Block Signaling. Testing DC and DCC track. I went through that time. It's always the way, isn't it? When you're stood there watching it, it never goes through. Oh, you're off, Jerry, are you? Good night, Jerry. Take care. Catch you again. No, I haven't fitted any crossovers yet, Alan. They will be fitted, but I'm just not sure where I'm going to fit them. Oh, Jerry's off to watch Big Clive. To test build a double slip over. Because as you can see in the bottom left, I've started messing around with the height for my next level. So once I build that and put that in place, then I can work out where the inclines are going to go, and then I'll determine where the crossovers are, because you obviously want the crossovers before the incline. Clive, Donegal Railway. Good evening, sir. How are you doing? Just joining a few droppers together, because it seems to pause on this bit of track. And the track is looking a bit dirty. It's that age-old question again. Why does one bit of track get dirtier quicker than the other? Cool, it's 9 o'clock already. To go and check on my 3D printer and workshop, so I'm printing a big knob. Okay. Okay, Seamus. Oh, for my miter saw, okay. Better you than me, Jason. I don't think I would have the patience to do something like that without firing it across the room. Let's just give that bit of track a bit of a clean. Trusty track rubber. Sometime during the week I should actually get my track cleaner out and just send it around a few times. There ain't nothing a 2-pound ball pen hammer can't fix. Okay, yeah, I suppose if it's cheaper, why not? It's all part of the hobby, all part of the fun. As usual, I'm getting my steps in tonight. I just know a couple of places where the 060 is stalling, so obviously not all the pickups, because each of the wheels has a pickup on that, so some of the pickups mustn't be working. So I'll need to do a little bit of further investigation with it. It's running a lot better now than it was, because it wasn't running at all. Size 10. Yeah, you're right, Tom. I don't think that's what they meant by kit bashing. Although it might be those wheels have picked up a bit of dirt now. It's been going around for a while, so it might need another clean. Oh, Alan, I see J Loco's put a video up 37 minutes ago. And she looks like she's wearing her black top. What, she does trains, does she? Oh, God. All of a sudden, everybody leaves my chat. Yeah. Right, I'm going to take that 06 off and give the wheels a bit of a clean because it keeps stalling. Oh yeah, the wheels have picked up a bit of dirt. Give that a clean. See, I've got the fluid out. And haven't managed to knock it over my desk yet. Still haven't mastered that skill of talking while doing something yet. So I will have a video out tomorrow. Channel members would have seen it already. It's on fitting. I think it's about 25 minutes. It's quite a long one. It's on points, fitting them, wiring them in. Probably should have actually just split it into sort of 3 different ones. Let's see how that runs now. Stunned silence. Oh, that was a couple of databases I found, Jason, when I was researching, because the little 060 that's going around, I had to get a new motor, but of course I had to find out which model of motor went in it. So I use those databases to get the spec sheet for it and the maintenance sheets to find out which model of motor went in it. Because there was a couple of similar type motors on Peter's spares for that one. I think the main difference between them was whether they had a plastic worm gear or a brass worm gear. Oh. Hi, Dean Briggs. How you doing? Yes, service sheet. You're right, Tom. One of those words you're trying to remember when you're doing a Google search. And what's the term I use here? Right, stopped a bit of track, which is actually directly wired to the power supply, so it's not a dead piece of track. I think I'm going to have to strip that down again and check all the pickups. You too, Jason. Catch you again. Take care. So anybody who doesn't know Jason, subscribe to his channel. He does a lot of, he's got a great layout there that he's building. And he's decided to start building his own track as well. So check that out. No, I won't be throwing the old worm away, Tom, because I know it will come in useful in the future. It will sit in my spares box, and when I need it in the future, I'll rip the place apart trying to find the damn thing. Not be able to find it, and then go and buy one, and as soon as it arrives in the post, find it. Yeah, stalled on the point again. But yet I tested the point. The point's working fine. Oh, do you know what it might be? I think the back-to-backs need doing. I think they don't seem right. Seems a little bit too loose, even though it's an 060 and they do put a little bit of play in them. It does seem a bit. Oh, good night, Dino. Take care. Yeah, I'm going to have to think about heading off soon. It's coming up 9:15. Well, plan for this weekend is to wire in a few more point motors. And then maybe next week when we're running trains, actually I can switch trains around. You know, give the old fiddle yard a test. See how well it works. See what derails where. Yeah, last week when it got dark, there was no one in the house when I finished my live stream. I was coming down the ladder, switched off the lights in the loft to realize the landing light wasn't on, and I was climbing down the ladder in the dark and then trying to fumble around for the light switch to switch the landing light on. Yeah, I'm going to take that 060 off now. I obviously need to do a bit more work on it. So that's something to do. Well, there's a Grand Prix on this weekend, isn't there? So that's something to do while I'm watching the Grand Prix. Sit up here, watch the Grand Prix, and fix that. Right, I'm going to call it a night there, guys. I can hear themselves are back. They went out to the pier to do some crab fishing. The motor you need is an X6331. So anybody out there got an X6331 they can send to Brian? So take care, everyone. I'll catch you all next week. Say I've got a video out tomorrow on my point installation. Anybody who's interested in that. And don't forget to hit the like button on your way out, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And I'll catch you all next week. Take care, everybody. Oh, don't forget Finnerton's stream on Saturday. Good night, all.